Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
It's the best episode of the year. It's the What's on Tap Systembolaget, Advent preview.
the kickoff. The kickoff to the holiday season.
That's the word I'm looking for. For some reason, kickoff was not working for me today.
The post Systembolaget Christmas beer release show.
Exactly.
They've released the Christmas beers. We can get cracking.
Yep. Did you order many Christmas beers this year?
Yes. Like a random assortment of whatever looked...
That's the way you do it.
Extra good.
Yeah. you go through the ones, look at the ones that you think that you've had before, that you thought were really good, that maybe you want to have again. And then you go to the hasn't been rated yet. And then you start going through and looking at, like, what is this random nonsense that I want to try?
Ooh, a Christmas IPA. Sure, I'll get that. A barley wine? Yes.
Yeah. There were over 200 beers in that release.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then so it was a Friday release. And the following Monday, there was over 100 additional beer releases. So within a 4-day window, there was over 300 beers that were released into the Swedish market. So that's an insane amount of beers.
That is insane.
But I love this. This is my favorite episode of the year. I went, I think I ordered like 19 different beers. So I went real deep on ordering these. So I'm very excited about trying these out.
And you managed to find 5 that I didn't order. So that's fun.
I know. I kind of had a pretty good feeling you did not order these. I don't know. They just didn't seem like Martin kind of beers. So, let's get into the first one here.
Yeah.
This is from Beer Barons. It is called Mild Winter. It's a 4.2% dark mild. And that's it. Nothing else to note of this.
That is it. The first time I heard of Beer Barons was when Swedish independent brewers released those like 40, 50 different beers, and Beer Barons was one of them.
They were amongst the list, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But that made them. I mean, all the other brewers I kind of knew about, but the Beer Barons were new to me.
Yeah, there were at least 2, maybe more. Milds that were released. So there was the Omnipolo mild that got released, which
Gordon's.
was
Gordon's mild.
No.
Okay.
It was Emma's mild winter or something like that. It was okay. Yeah. This is the other one. So I thought, well, I got to have one of them in here. And I mean, we've covered Omnipolo lots of times, so no point in giving them more press. Instead, let's try something we've never tried before or try something from a brewery we've never tried before. And it smells
a little bit like spiced Swedish, like it's called julmust.
Yeah, it smells a little musty, so it's definitely working in the Christmas theme.
Definitely sweet malts.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be... So the Underpulla mild was a very straight, traditional down the board mild. I think this might have some extra flavors in it.
Let's try it. Cheers.
All right, cheers. Nope, it's just a mild.
Yeah. Pretty flavorless.
Yeah.
A little bit of sweetness. Not really bread. More like... it's difficult. It's sugar water almost.
Yeah, milds I find are pretty much flavor inert. They don't really carry anything. And I think... I guess you're just supposed to drink them and not really worry about flavor.
Yeah, probably. No special ingredients except for oats.
Yeah, like I don't understand why a mild was ever created or why it exists.
To drink a lot of it, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they were usually lower ABV.
So that you can pound a pint and then just leave the pub.
Yeah. And there's a slight roastiness on the finish, but it's pretty faint. It's not one of my favorite styles. I think it's probably just as good as any other mild that you would probably try. I'm going to give it a 3. 2.75 or 3, somewhere around there. Yeah. But this isn't a knock against the brewery. It's just that this isn't a very interesting style.
No, but it's fully passable as something you would consume. I mean,
it's a good dinner beer. If you had this with a fatty meal, having this on the side, I think would be a pretty good beer to go.
Yeah. I think it would go better at the Christmas dinner table than here for the podcast.
I think as a dinner table beer, this is probably where it's gonna shine. Having some spiced ham and a mild actually sounds pretty good. Kind of hungry actually. All right. So next,
I'll get some food into you.
All right.
Next is I see it from Bustad Brewing, but I don't. You have the label facing you.
You can look at it.
Tomteluva, which means Santa's cap.
Yeah.
It is what's the style? It just says 5.4%.
It's beer. It's the beer style.
Oh, a Christmas spiced ale.
Yeah.
So generic.
Yeah. But the label is super cute. It's got a little old fashioned Santa Claus. He's got presents. I absolutely love the can. So when I saw the can, I was like, well, there's no way we're not reviewing this one because it's just adorable.
Yeah.
And as we all know, I am a sucker for marketing. So
yes. Presentation. Oh, yes. It's much lighter than I expected.
I was expecting it to be much darker in color too. This has more of a lagery kind of look, a little flat, not a lot of carbonation on it. Ooh, very spiced though. That is heavenly spiced.
Smells like a lot of Christmas spices.
There's a lot of cinnamon, I would guess. Some allspice, maybe some nutmeg.
I like that they just say contains
spices,
malt, oats, wheat.
And
what about the spices?
And a big flavor pack, star anise maybe. I'm not sure. It's this is like a chai latte cloves. Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
This is like
chai latte.
Chai latte.
It doesn't smell like chai latte.
Wow, that's a lot of flavor. What you said was just they called it a spiced ale.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, they didn't lie. That is definitely what this is.
I'm glad you said chai latte, not chai tea. That's the best way to annoy someone from India.
Oh.
Because chai means tea.
Yes.
It's like saying naan bread.
Right.
That's what it means.
I usually like to refer to things in there. Bread in there.
So this beer,
in their native language plus the
this beer is really good. But it isn't really good. It's kind of off balance.
Yeah, the upfront taste is like, ooh, that's a lot of great spicy flavors. And the aftertaste is kind of bitter in a way that they maybe left the spices in too long.
Yeah.
So that they've tainted the beer a little bit. It's kind of like what do you call it? Heavily perfumed.
Yeah.
We should do this thing where we buy potpourri. You know what potpourri is?
Yeah.
It's like the
dried
smelly stuff in a bowl that you would leave out and it would smell. Well, you can take that and you can boil it, and it releases even more of the odor into the air. It really makes a place smell like whatever it is that you're doing. So Christmas time, it would, if you really want to have that Christmas festive smell, you would take the Christmas whatever potpourri and you would boil it, and then afterwards it would kind of have this bitter smell in the air after you've cooked it too long. It's kind of what this tastes like.
It sounds like an analogy. Oh, you really boiled the potpourri now?
Yeah. It sounds more like a bad diet issue.
There's some off balance in it where the spiciness kind of competes with the sweet maltiness. It's not my favorite.
And I will say one thing: the spice lingers.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a sip for the entire time I've been talking since the initial sip, and I can still taste the gingerbready spiced flavor of the beer. It's
going back to
I think they just went way too hard on the spicing in the boil.
I think so too. Going back to the mild, that one tastes like nothing now.
No, especially after this.
Exactly.
I bet as a cuvee, I think they would probably balance each other out really well.
Ugh. Next beer is from Beerium, and I think they're from Surte. I don't know where that is. In Surte, we have made bottles and glass for over 100 years. Now we're focusing on the contents. It is...
Ironically, in a can.
Yeah. It's called Beerium Down the Chimney 2024. 5.6% ABV. No style. Suitable to combine with Christmas present or gingerbread.
Right. So that's actually why I picked this one, because of that extra little bit of suitable for Christmas presents or gingerbread. And it's got a really cute little pictogram on the side. So you can see that it has, that it is Christmas presents and gingerbread. I find that just adorable.
So, Untapped says that it is a schwarzbier.
Okay. That does sound like something I would have bought, because I do like a good schwarzbier. Let's see if this is a good schwarzbier. So it is dark. It qualifies in that capacity.
It smells like a schwarzbier.
Yeah.
A little bit of roasted lager malt.
Yeah, there's definitely some roastiness on this. I like it so far.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's
a slightly buttery tone to it.
I think so. I didn't get...
Or butter, or... maybe it's roasted too much. Maybe it's the coffee acidity. Maybe that's what I'm getting.
So, like I said, I kind of agree. I think they maybe over roasted the malts a little bit.
Yeah,
because
it's not butter. It's more of an acidity, a sourness.
Because the aftertaste is much more aggressively roasted than I would have expected.
Yeah. What did you give the previous one?
Oh, the previous one, I'm going to give that one a 2.5.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This one is also 2.5.
Also 2.5.
Yeah, I can already tell that it started off nice, like a proper schwarzbier, but then the flavors go nowhere, and there's this...
It almost gets into like a Baltic Porter kind of, because the roastiness is so harsh that afterwards you're just kind of like, man, that is almost like a light, what do you call it, like an Irish stout or something, because it's so harshly roasted. So they went a little too far in this one, but maybe that's the part where it's down the chimney. Maybe.
Just swallow it and don't think about it.
Yeah, they just burnt the shit out of those malts and then like, oh, down the chimney. Yeah, I have a hard time giving it more than 2.75. So
yeah. Next beer is Ringu julbock. So Ringu is made at Stigberget. I think it's whoever started Stigberget, his daughter is brewing the
one
Ringu
of
beer.
the founders of Stigberget's.
Yeah, that's just a. I don't actually know the facts, but it is brewed at Stigberget.
Yeah. And they're pretty new on the scene. This will be our first beer on the show that we've tried.
I think first from Ringu. I've had this is like my fourth or fifth in total.
Yeah. Beerizer, when I looked for beers that were released, had this as disappeared from release.
Ooh.
But on the website they did have it.
Ha.
So I was able to grab a can.
Miscommunication from
Systembolaget. So this is the one I was looking forward to the most. Actually, the last two are the ones I was looking forward to the most.
So when you let me arrange them, I did it in the right order.
Yeah. The first three I was like, well, they can go really any order. I kind of assumed you start with the mild. And then 2 and 3 were pretty much interchangeable, I felt. And then we get into the ones I was more excited about. And this is a bock beer. It looks really good. Smell is...
A little chocolatey, malty sweet. Right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Let's do it.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the highlight of the group so far. I will say this year, I think I went a little too similar in style unintentionally because...
Yeah, the dark mild and the schwarzbier and the Christmas bock and the spiced...
They're all a little bit of a variation on a theme.
Yeah.
Not a lot of highs, not a lot of lows here. They're kind of just really playing in the same ballpark in many ways. However, I think this one jumps ahead of all the other ones.
In terms of quality.
In terms of quality and flavor.
I agree.
The carbonation on this, I think, really is what elevates it. Because it's much heavier carbonated. Creates it more of a balanced mouthfeel and more of a balanced flavor profile. Whereas the other three were kind of missing a lot of that. And I think that's just kind of comes from experience.
Yeah, maybe.
But also the finish is it's dry, and the roasted notes come through, but in a more kind of roasted coffee, toffee kind of more complex way. There's more a little more depth to it than I was getting from the other ones.
I said chocolate in the beginning, and let's not confuse it with milk chocolate. This is more like bready chocolate cake, crumble kind of thing. It's pretty nice, but I'm not sure it gets more than 3.5 for me.
3.5 is exactly where this beer belongs. I wouldn't give it more than that. But I will say, maybe not the spiced ale, but the other three I think would be really good on any Christmas table.
Yes.
I think they would really play well with a nice meal. And they're not very expensive, so you could easily buy a bunch of these cans and try a bunch of different ones. And then, just have them on the table for people to try and sample. And I think for a Christmas table, this would be a really good beer to
I think so too. This one more than the previous ones.
I would say for a Christmas table, except for the spiced ale, I think that one, it's way too rich.
I'm really scared of the last one because it's Österlenbryggarna, the really bad brewery from Ystad. And it's a strong dark mildale with gingerbread spices.
Yeah, baby. Strong dark mild ale. How's that? How do you get strong and mild? 6%. They were established in 1953. All right. Good for them. That's all it says. There's not really anything else on it other than it's a Winterwarmer Gingerbread.
Let me pour some.
And I'm like, we can't have a Systembolaget Christmas beer episode without at least one gingerbread style beer on here. It's kind of 'tis the season for gingerbread beers. If America's got pumpkin spice beers,
yes,
Sweden has gingerbread beers.
It smells perfumey.
This smells exactly like potpourri. It is the most. It smells like, if you have some aerosol Christmas spice spray, it smells like this. Might be one of the top 5 most perfumey beers I've ever smelled in my life.
Yeah.
Like if I went into a perfume store and I smelled this, I would not be surprised.
No. That's right.
Wow, that's rough. That is not good.
No, that is invalid.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's way unbalanced and way
a little bit sour.
Yeah. Again, I think they just went too hard on the spices, and they boiled them a little too hard, or left them in the vat too long, or whatever it was they did with them, because it's turned a bit.
Yeah. That's not good.
It doesn't help that the base beer is kind of weak as well.
Probably.
It doesn't have really any body or character to it. And the more you drink, the more unbridled perfuminess you get. That's a tough beer. I'm going to have to give this like a 1.5.
1 for me.
1, yeah. Well, this turned out to be a bust this year. I'm sorry, man.
That's not a problem. Because I am so looking forward to our Christmas calendar.
Which
I'm sure will be filled with a lot of really cool beers.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the Christmas calendar. I hate the editing production part of them, but I love the recording.
Yes. I think the Christmas calendar will overshadow these 5 beers.
I think so too.
But we needed to kick off the winter season somehow.
We do.
And a lot of Christmas beers at Systembolaget aren't very good. So this is actually a very true representation of what's out there.
It is. And I don't know if it was just me, the way I picked, or if they were just a lot of milds and winter warmers and kind of ales this year, because it seems like they kind of go through cycles. Like one year it's like, well, everyone's doing like a Christmas IPA, and they're all just basically just an IPA with a Christmas logo on.
Yeah.
Or there's a few barley wines, or there's whatever, some of the brown ales or whatever usually come around this year. So this year it was just kind of milds and dark ales of some sort.
Exactly.
So I would say of these, 3 of them definitely great for Christmas table. 2 just keep on walking. Just leave them on the shelf and
don't touch
them. All right, man. Well, let's get started with
the Christmas calendar.
Season. So that will start this Monday.
On the 1st.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Monday, right? I think so. I don't remember.
I mean, maybe. No, it's on Sunday.
On Sunday, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was Sunday or Monday. But anyway, we'll get started on Sunday, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
So, Merry Christmas, y'all. Until next time.
You're drinking your dumbbells.